I look up to them because I want them to know they're the experts on this child. I'm just guiding with the knowledge that I have to help them figure them out so that they can work best with them. But at the end of the day, the family is, even if it's just a single mom or single dad or two parents, two dads, two moms, it doesn't matter. The family is the love and support and understanding of strengths and weaknesses. So I truly believe in that.
Hi, I'm Kim Tolson and I'm the traveling therapist. It's my passion to teach therapists how to navigate online private practices and multiple income streams so they can travel the world. I'm a digital nomad with a virtual insurance-based private therapy practice and a multi-six-figure coaching business. I'm obsessed with entrepreneurship and developing tools that can help therapists live an adventurous lifestyle. In this podcast, I will discuss my journey as a digital nomad. I'll chat with other traveling therapists and help you navigate the complexities of running an online insurance-based practice. I'm so glad to have you with me on this journey. A big thank you to Superbill for sponsoring this episode of our show. Superbill supports you as a provider while making it easy for your clients to get money back for out-of-network care. They offer free benefits checks in real time, and when you sign up for an unlimited account, you receive a benefits estimator widget for your website, custom tailored to your practice. Learn more at thesuperbill.com/Kim Tolson. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Traveling Therapist Podcast. I'm so excited today to have Karin Hatch here with us. She has an amazing story. And Karin, I just really want to turn it over to you, let you introduce yourself, and just let us know about this journey that you're on right now.
Hi, Kim. Thank you so much. I'm thrilled to be on your podcast. I'm so excited. Thank you so much again. So my name is Karin Hatch, and I'm a clinical psychologist. I was born in Trinidad, which is one of the southerly islands in the Caribbean. And I've had a private practice there for about 28 years. And I work with 0 to 18. And my niche is 0 to 5. So I work with preschoolers and I work alongside pediatricians, any sort of a speech therapist who work with pediatric occupational therapists, anybody who's working within that field, especially with the schools. I work a lot with Montessori schools. And that would be equivalent to your kindergarten, like 2 to 5, 2 to 6. And then transitioning into primary or elementary school and then into secondary school. So that was my niche then. And then COVID hit. And when Trinidad was one of the islands that we were closed down for like 2 years. So we did not get our airports open until about July 2021. Yes.
Wow.
So last year, just about a year now, our airport. So we were really shut down there for a while. And I was what to do. Everybody was very scared of COVID. Nobody really knew what to do. We did not get vaccinations, of course, in the Caribbean until much later than America or England or the other countries. So we just had to figure out, okay, let's just keep ourselves sanitized and safe until we could get the vaccines. We're very strict on mask wearing and keeping 6 feet apart and really just staying in your own little bubble. When I tried to do virtual, because we were one of the essential services, we were able to still work, although it was virtually. 0 to 5 is really impossible to do virtually.
I bet. I could not even imagine trying to do that.
It was quite hilarious. So I ended up just doing parenting and sort of waiting to see what would happen. I just love my work. I'm passionate about my therapy. I love working with children. I think they're so funny and just so enthusiastic about life. And I just adore playing. I do a lot of play therapy. That's one of my main modalities. And I work with a lot of nonverbal children as well. So a lot of art, a lot of drama, and a lot of family, as well as whatever their social network is. Grannies and aunties and, helpers, anybody who's there working with the child. I just would work with them either in my office or going to the home or into their schools. So I travel. I was always traveling then to work with my clients. And my main thing is to help people understand their strengths and weaknesses, even the children, and to see that these strengths could help them overcome their weaknesses and help them learn how to cope within their environment so that they could perform to their best potential. That's always my goal. Just
Right.
let's see how we could get you to your best potential. And of course, dealing with emotions and working with how to express them. I believe that all
Amazing.
feelings are all okay. It's what you do with the feeling that could be positive or negative, and how to get people to just kind of grasp that concept and just enjoy life and
I
enjoy your
love that.
children
I
because
love
they're
that.
so beautiful and wonderful. And they're only there for a little bit of time. My two children are now gone. I have two sons, one's 28 and one's 26. One
Amazing.
lives in England and one lives in Canada. And so their departure also kind of started the wheels turning for us to decide what did we want to do with the rest of our lives, where did we want to live. In the middle of everything, I was, of course, volunteering in the mental health field in Trinidad, and I decided rebrand myself to appeal to teens and adults, and I would offer a free 40-minute virtual session anywhere in the world, all time zones, which was quite funny, all
Wow.
ages.
Oh
And
my gosh,
I
that's
ended up
amazing.
doing about 200 free volunteer sessions. And I'm still doing
Amazing.
it. I still offer it. And as a result, then I did get people. I mean, I was on Twitter, actually. Social media is really, truly powerful. And then I started to offer some discounted packages because, of course, a lot of people's companies closed down, a lot of jobs were lost, and people were just really desperate as far as their finances were concerned, but still needed some mental health. So that was basically how I kind of got through 2021. And
Yeah.
then we decided that my husband is a marine surveyor. During COVID, he actually did a whole different degree and he was a retired engineer.
Wow.
And but the yachting industry sort of closed down in Trinidad because our borders were closed. But Grenada, which tends to depend more upon tourism, they were able to open back up their borders fairly early with restrictions, of course, quarantine, et cetera, et cetera. But we have a sailboat and we decided, well, let's sail up here. I know one of your questions was how are you able to work in different countries? Well, within the island, because Carriacou belongs to Grenada, is a Commonwealth country. There's something called a Carriacou visa, where once you are probably a tertiary degree, like have a tertiary degree in whatever profession, entertainers as well, maybe some other categories, but as a psychologist, I'm able to have a Carriacou visa and therefore work within the Carriacou without having to go the route of applying for a work permit, paying for a work permit, having your work pay for a work permit, etc. So that's a little bit easier. And my spouse is also Grenadian, so that helps.
Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Were you all in the United States and then because I know we talked a little bit about your journey where you were there, right? And then decided to embark upon moving down to where you are now?
So no, I studied in Canada and
Oh, it was in Canada. Okay.
America. So my degrees are both but I think I had mentioned that I did my internship in Iowa.
Oh, right. That's what it was.
Yeah. And that's
Oh my gosh.
that's a whole new different thing that's happened. But we've always had sailboats. I'm married into a family of sailors. And my one thing being that I do not get seasick. I am great on a boat.
That's amazing.
I do not get seasick. I could do anything for anybody. And we bought a boat in Florida in 2017, and I took a sabbatical from my practice, and we sailed down. We took 6 months because I really wanted to enjoy the Bahamas and the islands, the British Virgin Islands, US Virgin Islands, and the Caribbean islands that I had not yet visited. So it was amazing. It was a journey full of like life-threatening occurrences where we lost fuel and we lost steering on the boat and we had to sail it into very narrow areas, but we did a great job together, and we were still both alive after the journey. So that's the important
That's
part.
positive.
But it was amazing. And while I was on, I also do supervision with some of the psychologists who have returned to Trinidad.
Wow.
There really is not anyone that qualified within the 0 to 2 field, that applied developmental field, even throughout the Caribbean. So I've been working with people all the time, and I decided that eventually when I retire, somebody has to work.
Yeah.
So I've been helping some of the psychologists with cases and supervising, working with younger children. And when I was in Dominican Republic, I've always
Mhm.
bought a SIM card no matter where I was. Whichever country I was in, I bought a local SIM card with
Nice.
data. That seems to
Mm.
be the best way to do any kind of virtual work. And I was able to do virtual supervision. And I also had some students. One of my fields that I work in, you tend to start in a field and then everybody refers those clients to is anxiety. And I've worked
Mhm.
with anxious toddlers for like very young ages. And some of them grew up, well, they definitely grew up and became students. So when they were transitioning into university, a few of them would WhatsApp me, and once I had data and I had signal. So I did a
Yeah.
few sessions that way as
Mm.
well. I know one of your questions was who introduced me to traveling, but when you live on
Yeah.
an island, you have to travel. It's
Yeah.
the only way to get off.
Right?
So I've been flying. Once you're born, you get a passport in Trinidad. So I've been
Yeah.
flying my whole life and sailing,
Nice.
the
Nice.
latter part of my life. But I think then when we arrived here and I was still able to do virtual therapy, it
Mhm.
really hit me that I could still work. I could
Yeah.
still do my passion. I don't have to leave it and do my side hustles. And I was absolutely I was just so thrilled that I could still, you know, talk to people and guide them through issues, especially now where I think before when COVID first started, it was more like social needs.
Mhm.
People were calling me
Yeah.
to get how could they get food for their baby, how they could
Gosh.
get diapers, and I would be like calling all my friends, can we get a hamper? Can we get something together for these families? They were so
Mhm.
desperate. And I think as we see COVID going along, we're realizing the need for mental health is crucial
Yeah.
now. And
Yeah.
with the hybrid workplaces and the burnout, lots of anxiety, lots of depression, and
Mhm.
even transitions.
Yes.
Transitions create a lot of anxiety as well. And
Right.
I've definitely noticed that the population of 20s and 30s, who are the ones on Twitter, their needs have changed within the workplace as far as money is an issue, but not necessarily a primary issue.
Mhm.
Loyalty is definitely not an issue as
Yeah.
far as longevity in an environment.
Mm.
And they just really want to live their lives to the best of their ability. So when
Yeah.
my friend who was on internship with me called me this year in January, and she said, let's do a business. And I was like, sure.
Oh, wow.
I know we hadn't seen each other in 30 years. I
Oh,
had been to
wow.
visit her in Chicago maybe 20 something years ago, while my husband had like a workshop or something. But we just reconnected, and
Oh,
we
that's wonderful.
still fluid. It's still in its creative modality, but we decided to do a coaching business called Beyond the Waves.
Mm.
And we recently hired someone to do our website, logo, and branding. So we're still in the new. We've done all the content. Well, that's what we do. We're both psychologists.
Yeah.
But we felt that here we were doing one person at a time, one-on-one sessions. You could only do 6 people for the most on a day, otherwise you're burnt out. How are
Yeah.
we getting all these people who are so in pain, who are suffering, who need help? The American suicidal rates were just climbing, school
Mhm.
shootings, and we get a lot of your news, of course, in
Yeah.
Trinidad and in the Caribbean and in Carriacou. And I think we then kind of follow behind America, maybe 3 years at most behind.
Mhm.
So we decided, how can we hit a lot of people at the same time? What can we do
Wow.
to really give back? And we said, well, let's try and hit the corporations. If
Mhm.
we could help them connect, and put some pillars of purpose, trust, and culture being a real significant story for the two of us, since we're from two different cultures, and help them to connect with their employees. And then maybe you can have some ripple effects into families and communities. That's our goal. That's where we're at,
I love
while
it.
we're still
Gosh.
doing our private practice.
Yes, you're really giving back. I mean, all the pro bono sessions you're doing, and then this on top of it, the coaching, it's amazing. It's just
Thank you.
amazing.
Thank you.
And so to shift it a little bit, I'd love if you would, because it's sort of another side hustle you have is your villa and how I would love if you would talk about that too, because in the traveling therapist Facebook group, we hear people talking about that all the time. Like, how can I still make a little bit of extra income and get out of the therapy field or the coaching because I'm so burned out, like we were talking about. So I'd
Right.
love if you would share about that process.
Hey, Morgan from Superbill here. You've told your clients that you're out of network and that you can give them a superbill, but what happens next? Dealing with insurance is the least favorite part of your job. It's one of the reasons you're a private pay provider, but you care about your clients and their ability to continue their care with you. Enter Superbill. We save you and your clients time and money with benefits checks, claim filing and tracking, denial resolution, and concierge support. Let us do the heavy lifting of navigating out-of-network benefits. Learn more at thesuperbill.com/Kim Tolson.
Before we hit record on this, Karin actually gave me a tour around her villa, which overlooks the ocean. It's beautiful. I wish I could show you guys a picture of this. Maybe I'll put a picture in the show notes or something, but oh, we could link to it. I forgot because it's
Yes.
an Airbnb.
Yes.
Would you share
So,
about that?
so my husband has always loved the Grenadines, and as I said, he's a sailing family. They've been sailing here all their lives. I only recently started sailing when we got married 30 years ago. But but I love the sea. I love the water, and I embrace everything. I just say yes to everything. So
I love that.
we decided to build a villa here and rent it out, but not all year. So my in-laws come in, we would come every August with our children. So it's about the same age as my youngest son. My youngest son is 26, so it's about 25 years old. We built it, and
Yeah.
we built it in stages. So we had like the main floor, and then we built the downstairs, then we built the pool, and as it came along, we've just been adding to it until it's like
Oh,
so perfect now. We just love it. It's so comfortable.
gorgeous.
And so we would come up in August. This was our time when the boys had holidays, and my husband actually he was able to use the company's single prop engine, which had like 4 seats. So he would fly us back and forth from
Wow.
Trinidad to the villa, and and he would fly back and forth as well when he had holidays, when he had the weekend. So that was nice. And then my in-laws would come September, October, November, and then there's a huge sailing race that happens in November. So all the Trinidadians will come up, and people from all over other countries would come up and race, and then we'd sail back down and rent in the high season, so December to April. Now that we are here, we decided to live in it, but we also rent in it, and we're renting it all year round now because
Yeah.
we also have a 49-foot yacht that we just move on to. It's like our apartment.
That's
And
amazing.
and then as a result, we also offer like a surf and turf to our renters. So if you want to take a sail, we had some renters from Germany that wanted to do like a 2-night sail on the boat and see some of the other islands that are nearby. And so
Wow.
that was put into the package as well, and they loved it. It was quite amazing for them. And
Oh my God.
they get to sail the boat and pull the ropes and that sort of thing, and cook in the galley, and it was really exciting. So and we love introducing people to the villa and to the experience. I know one of your questions was something that I would recommend to people who travel is to talk to everybody. We
Mm.
speak to everybody. Like we meet people on the beach, and they're like, "Who lives in that house?" And we're like, "Come and see it. It's
Oh,
our
I love
villa."
that.
And they were like, I met this girl. We met this girl on the beach, gosh, so many years ago. And she lives in England. She was visiting family. And we were like, "You want to go for a sail?" She's like, "Sure." So now,
Oh my gosh.
so many years later, we're still friends. Or thank God to social media, you're still friends. You can keep in touch.
Uh,
And so I think introduce yourself to everyone, speak to everyone. Everybody has a lovely story. And even if they aren't having a good day, I think you just smile at people, and that gives them the energy to deal with
Aw.
whatever issue they may be shouldering on that very day. But so we do rent it out. It's on, well, you put the link for the villa
I
It's
will.
on, I think it's also on VRBO, it's on Airbnb, and it's on you can just contact us directly on the
Yeah.
website.
Yeah.
And it's
Such a
beautiful.
Oh, I can't wait to share it. It's such a dream. Like, okay, so we'll live in the villa or we'll go live on the sailboat or the yacht, depending on,
Yeah,
if people want to come stay here, and then you get the extra income, and that's just
yeah.
amazing.
I mean, during COVID, it was difficult because, of
I'm
course,
sure.
nobody could come in. So it didn't make any money during COVID. But in
Yeah.
the meantime, my husband did the marine surveying. So thank God he had that. I was doing my packages as well, and I could do it virtually. So we were able to cope financially.
That's
And as well as
amazing.
the fact that the two boys are now independent financially. So that
Right?
helps
That
a lot.
helps.
They both have jobs. They're very interesting. One is a lawyer in England, and my
Oh,
second
wow.
son is a piercing artist in a tattoo and piercing shop in Hamilton, in Canada. I know they're so
Wow.
interested. They're both beautiful souls and have interesting journeys, and
Oh,
I'm very proud to be their mom. So
I bet. Oh my gosh. And what a wonderful mother. You
thank
know.
you.
Oh my
And also
gosh.
other side hustles. Being here, I sell boats as well. I mean,
You
if
do.
anybody has a
Wow.
boat, I'd be like, because I like being on social media and I love talking to people. And so I'm on all these social media pages, selling boats and selling
That's
charters, etc. Just
amazing.
anything that I just think like do everything because
Yeah.
you just never know when your time is up. I just love moments of happiness and, enjoying your life. I was very fortunate in my private practice. Very early on, when I first went back to Trinidad, I felt that I had a really good product. I had an extremely good foundation in McGill and then at Nova Southeastern in Florida and my internship in Des Moines.
Hmm.
So I went back and there was someone asking for a child psychologist in her practice. And I went in and she quoted me the salary and I said, nah, I think I'm worth more than that. I'm just going to open my own private practice.
Good for you.
So
Good
I
for you.
did, and I became affiliated with a pediatrician, and we opened offices together, and a
Nice.
speech therapist, audiologist, sorry, and it was just from there. I believe people talk about the imposter syndrome quite a lot, and I see
Yeah.
that quite a lot on the pages, and I sort of look at it and go, nah, I just never had that.
That's
No, I
amazing. I
think
wish I wish I had that because I definitely suffer from the imposter syndrome sometimes.
no way. You just look at what you've done and the fact that, you're able to help these people benefit from your information and your knowledge. And sometimes you say, I don't know. And you find someone who does because we don't all have all the niches covered and all the
Right.
skills. Now with the internet, you can just research it and just read
Totally.
read about it before it was much more difficult.
Yeah.
But I think that you have to believe in what you do because you see it working, you see change happening for the better, and you see families who are so grateful. I had a mom tell me, "Thank you for giving me back my child," and I'm like,
Oh,
"You did it. I'm not. I only seen this child 1 hour a week or
yeah.
2 weeks. You are with them 24/7. You guys are the experts. There's
Yes.
something I do in my office in Trinidad where I sit on the floor and I uplift my parents. So I'm always on the floor and
Oh,
with
I
my
love
with my
that.
with my client. And so
Oh,
I look up to them because I want them to know they're the experts on this child. I'm just guiding with the knowledge that I have to help them figure them out so that they can work best with them. But at the end of
wow.
the day, the family is, even if it's just a single mom or single dad or two parents, two dads, two moms, it doesn't matter. The family is the love and support and understanding of strengths and weaknesses. So I truly believe in that.
Oh my gosh. What an amazing intervention. Just doing that act and how powerful that is for the parents to give them, uplift them, as you said. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Well,
amazing.
well,
Oh my
well, some
gosh.
of them look at me a bit strange.
They're like, why are you sitting on
I'm
the
like,
floor? But we know what you're doing.
yeah, yeah. And I think they're like,
Amazing.
they come in with so many issues because, of course, a
Yeah.
therapist is not the first person
Hmm.
that they reach out to. So by the time they reach out to me, they're really just desperate and
Yeah.
they just so hopeless. And, I just say, okay, this is what we're going to do. This is what we see. Look at that. It's brilliant. This is brilliant what you guys have been doing. And, real kudos to your consistency and we'll help. Let's just do it together. I'm always saying we will help, because it's not I'm going to help them. They have to help me. So
Amazing.
if you don't tell me everything, I'm not going to be able to help you. So you have to help me understand too. So.
Of course, yes. So if somebody lives in another country like the United States or somewhere else, can they come and live in this country, or are there restrictions? I'm just curious about that because it's so beautiful there. I just wonder if people wanted to relocate there.
So quite a few people. There's actually an expats in Grenada Facebook page. A lot of people just come down. It depends, I think, on the age of the child, because the high school age, maybe the schooling is not as what they may want in the high school in America. The curriculum is very British based, so it's a little different. Don't really think there are a lot of private schools, but there may be. I'm not so familiar with the high school age. But the little ones tend to be fine, the elementary age. And there's excellent university. There's actually an American university, St. George's University. It's a vet-based and medical university. Very popular for that. In Grenada, quite a lot of people would apply for a work permit. You do, then it depends. I don't know the cost of it. If there's a field, never usually laborers, because there are many laborers available on the island. So plumbers, masons, carpenters, painters, that sort of field, the sort of blue collar, I would say. There are quite a lot of in the population. But maybe if you go up with a tertiary education, or there's something that they don't have a lot of in that field, then you're able to apply for a work permit. But it's all online and definitely. But quite a few people just say they want to take a year off. They want to bring their children up in an environment where they can go to the beach every day and they can learn about life by just swimming underwater and meet other people in a more diverse population, go to school with children that they may never be able to go to school with in the States or in another country. So definitely, Trinidad is a bit different because we are oil and gas based. So we've always had a lot of expats in that petroleum industry. In fact, a lot of my work when I came back to Trinidad, when I returned to Trinidad, was done with children, families transitioning into an island atmosphere and a school. And eventually, they actually developed an American school with your grade curriculum in order to help fit in because there were so many families with young children and teenagers. And what do they do with them? So Trinidad has more accommodated the age, and we've had a huge expat population for a long time. But these islands up here are more tourism based, so much more hotels, etc., that sort of economy. But
gotcha.
I think
it's gorgeous there. It's gorgeous there. I think it's exciting. I love your story, and I love how you've developed these other income streams so you can offer these pro bono services. I think that's amazing that you're able to do that and help people all around the world, especially when COVID was so bad and people really needed the resources. It's just amazing.
Thank you. I think that, I don't know if everybody else experienced this, but I did sort of think, oh my gosh, my practice is gone. Like when COVID hit and we couldn't work, and I'm like, what do I do? And then I said, oh, but let me just sort of encompass what's happening in the world and in Trinidad. And then I said, I have to work. I love my work. I have to work. I don't know how. I'm just going to have to work. And I was actually, many people were on workshops, doing Zoom meetings. It was also new. And there was something that was offered with women talking about rebranding and reimagining their lives as, offices were closed down and work was sort of not there anymore. And I thought, that's what I'll do. I'll rebrand my therapy. I'll rebrand my niche and see how it goes. And
love it.
And I did, and it's growing really well. And then when my friend said, let's do something for corporations, we actually, our menu is going to encompass like all different sorts of things, not just corporations, but we find that even, of course, very feminine, very women-related issues, but hitting educational aspect. So not just people who want to or desperate to come to therapy. I think that during COVID, people need to see therapy or what we call emotional fitness, emotional and physical fitness versus mental health, because it's still very stigmatized in the Caribbean, the word mental health.
Interesting.
I don't know if it is that way in America, but so we're sort of looking at hitting people that maybe gathering for like a book club or, you know, having tea in an afternoon, and a group of ladies who want to have someone come in and direct a conversation that may lead to some depth or some understanding or some education. So we're kind of hoping that, you know, it may hit at like graduation parties, different things that people may want to do, bar mitzvahs, and moving away from like the partying, because COVID's kind of put a damper on partying and great groups of people, but small groups of people, bridal showers, christenings, you know, things like that. So we're just trying to see how we could radiate into different channels into communities and help more people learn about themselves, learn about their strengths and weaknesses, and educate others, you know, families, help them work with their parenting, etc. So that's our goal. And maybe eventually, not maybe, because it's coming along our website, we could get that link on as well.
Yes. Well, anytime I'll add everything. And because I'm sure people are going to really be interested in your resources for sure.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It's been wonderful talking to you today.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. And I really hope that everybody gets a chance to travel. And don't forget, talk to everyone.
Yes, I love that. Final words, talk to everyone. I love that.
Thank you so much, Kim, for having me. I really appreciate it. It's been lovely.
Thank you so much. Now, here's a question for my listeners. How many times have you told your clients that you can provide them with a super bill since you're not in network with their insurance? We know that every insurance plan is different, including out-of-network benefits. And it's such a hassle for your clients to call their insurance company to figure out coverage. Superbill is the solution. Superbill's widget can provide benefits checks in real time. Input your client's insurance information, and within a matter of seconds, you and your client can see their benefits and estimated reimbursement for mental health services. And the support doesn't stop there. Superbill supports you as a provider and helps your clients utilize their out-of-network benefits. Superbill's team of insurance experts will file their claims directly with the insurance payer. From there, your client can track their reimbursement status online and lean on Superbill's team to resolve any rejected claims. When your clients save time and money on their therapy, you can retain them longer, and it's a win-win situation. Let Superbill do the heavy lifting for seamless out-of-network insurance claims. Visit thesuperbill.com/Kim Tolson to sign up. That's thesuperbill.com/KYMTOLSON. And get your first month free when you use the promo code Kim Tolson. Thank you so much for listening to the Traveling Therapist podcast. For show notes, links, and downloads, head over to thetravelingtherapist.com, where you'll be able to learn more about my journey, the courses I've created for you, and other exciting resources to make your dreams become a reality. If you've enjoyed this episode, please share with your traveling therapist friends, subscribe to the podcast, and if you loved this episode, please leave a review.